Hi guys, Dr. Millie, and I have personally challenged myself to speak about a product every day for the next 30 days. I used to be on the radio with Invite Health, as some of you know, and at that time I was speaking about my passion for professional grade, scientifically based natural health products, and I don't work for Invite Health anymore, but I still love to speak about all the great products that I use in my practice, that I take personally. And so over the next 30 days, starting today, I will be featuring one product per video, and I hope that it helps you a lot. I hope that you learn how to use a product, when to take it, if it might be a product that you're considering, or even a product to rule out if it doesn't sound like the right one for you. So the product that I'm talking about today is Isotonics digestive enzyme formula with probiotics. And what this product is a digestive aid. Now, there's different kinds of digestive aids because digestion, as we know, begins in the mouth and ends at the anus. And so there are several organs within this organ system, and each of them have their own normal functioning. So you might have heard that digestion begins with the nose. So it begins when we smell food, then our saliva is stimulated to produce a digestive enzyme called amylase, which breaks down sugar. So yes, when everything is working properly, when we smell food and when we put carbohydrates in our mouth, whether that's fruit or grains or starch or a low glycemic or a high glycemic, it should be that our saliva gets produced, and then in that saliva are digestive enzymes called amylase, which do the first part of digesting along with your teeth, which of course mechanically break down your food. So you've probably also heard that food should be chewed 30 times in order for it to be a liquid before you swallow it, because your stomach does not have teeth. Hello? And so what needs to happen once you swallow food is that enzymes kick in, predominantly in the stomach. These are pepsin and hydrochloric acid. So there's proteolytic enzymes that break down proteins in the stomach. Now with wear and tear, with stress, with buffering agents like Tums or other calcium carbonate products, or even with antacid use, especially if you're on like a 24-hour antacid, then these can reduce the acid that is allowed to be secreted normally in the stomach. Now, usually it's only at mealtime that acid gets secreted. So it begins with smelling the food. When we're chewing the food, digestive enzymes get stimulated, and therefore the stomach should start producing them. If this is not happening, it could be that, as I mentioned, we've experienced high amounts of stress. It could be that the stomach is not responding anymore to these initial activities that need to stimulate. It could be that the enzymes are being buffered or suppressed. It could be that there's something wrong, functionally wrong with the stomach, such as the mucus lining's been worn away, or there's not enough pepsin being produced. Maybe there's a vitamin B12 deficiency, and so then that can cause that problem. Or maybe there's a history of ulcers or heartburn. Maybe it's every time your stomach produces acid, you're in pain. Maybe there's a hiatal hernia, or the lower esophageal reflex is lax or thin. So there can be all sorts of reasons, complications that happen throughout our wear and tear on our body that put us in a situation where we might need some support to require some digestive enzymes. Menopause is also, a normal body process. It's a normal landmark of aging for women, but it's a stressful period on the body, even if the person doesn't feel emotionally distressed. Still a stressful time in the body, and one thing that can happen is that fewer digestive enzymes are produced, and therefore the digestion of particularly proteins get impacted. But it could also be any enzymes that are secreted from the pancreas, chymotrypsin. So fat digestion begins when our food goes through the initial part of our small intestine, and then the pancreas is stimulated to produce chymotrypsin, which is a digestive enzyme that breaks down fats. And most fat, the breaking down of most fats happens in the small intestine. And so, as I mentioned, sugars begin in the mouth, proteins begin, and the majority of them are completed in the stomach. And then as the food or the chyme, which is the liquid that's been, already pre-digested, goes into the stomach, then that's where we should produce some pancreatic enzymes should be there, as well as some lipases and some other amylase and alpha-galactosidase and some other enzymes that help to break down further complex carbohydrates, not just sugars like amylase, but fibers. And then bacterial fermentation begins, and the bacterial fermentation, of course, increases further breakdown of fiber, foods that are not very digestible through our teeth, and it's kind of, especially insoluble fiber, which we can't really break down, or roughage, which is only there to bulk up our stool. But the soluble fiber that there is there, the bacteria get a hold of that and they grow. And so we are in need of good bacteria in order to help that fermentation process happen. If we're getting like gas or bloated, or if we're getting foul-smelling gas or foul-smelling bowel movements, then this is also a sign that there's some negative bacteria there, and we need to repopulate some good bacteria. There's some putrefaction going on. It's not just healthy fermentation of the carbohydrates. And so that's the normal physiology kind of in a nutshell, and what can happen as things change in our life, or as our health has changed over time, and maybe we start some medications, or we begin an aging process, or we get to the next stage of life, or even if we've had a health event which has rendered us not in the same place that we were before health-wise. So what's more about digestive enzymes is that they can be used for different things. So digestive enzymes can be taken between meals in order to help the body cope with just kind of everyday joint stiffness, etc., that result as from inflammation going on in the body. But in order to help with digestion, you need to take it either before or after eating a meal. Now, if you know that a food is going to cause you bloating, then you could take a digestive enzyme with probiotic, or even just a digestive enzyme and a probiotic together before the meal, before you started eating. If you feel you've eaten something and then you realize, oh shoot, I feel gas and bloating, then you can take the product then. And so just to recap, this Nutrimetrics digestive enzyme formula that I'm discussing today, I'll show a picture of it again. It comes in this box. It also does come, this is a 20-day supply, although it's really a 40-day supply if you only take half the packet, with sometimes people only need half the packet. Personally, I take it when I need it, after the fact, when I'm already experiencing gas and bloating, or if I've eaten too much, or if I've eaten too much protein, or if I've had something that feels bloating. The other day, rarely happens. I had a Coca-Cola, hardly ever happens. I felt so bloated afterwards. So I took one of these babies. It comes in these really convenient little sticks. So the powder is all in these sticks. And then you just tear the stick open, and you pour it in a couple of ounces of water. I like to make it as short as possible. So just a couple of ounces of water, 2 to 3. So then the digestive enzymes are acting strong. You could put it in a shake or a larger glass of water, but it would dilute them a little bit. It tastes of lemon lime, so it's actually a delicious flavor. It's in a base of enzymes and electrolytes, and so the electrolytes, magnesium, potassium, calcium, a little bit of sugar, are there to control gastric emptying, but also so that the product can be quickly absorbed. So this product enables fast absorption, much faster than any tablet and even chewables. It has an effective delivery of the nutritional supplements. The supplement is in what we call isotonic fluid form, which speeds the nutrient absorption into your body. And it's usually taken with a meal, and then when that happens, the isotonic fluid enters the body and is quickly delivered. So it enters locally, deposits the enzymes where it's needed, in the mouth, in the stomach primarily, and then the small intestine. And then the probiotics are deposited in the small intestine and even in the large intestine. The types of probiotics in this formula are actually a lactospore, so they're encapsulated, so the enzymes won't disturb them. So once they they're not encapsulated like in a capsule, but the spore itself is in a small capsule, which makes it heat stable. and then it won't rupture or die before it gets to the place where it needs to be. And as I mentioned, amylase, protease, cellulase to break down the roughage, lactase, lipase, so it breaks down milk, lactase, lipase, fat, amylase, and sucrase, so it breaks down sucrose, which is what I really needed when obviously I had the Coca-Cola. So this formula minimizes the chance of inactivation by a highly acidic pH level because the probiotics are encapsulated. And, you know, in a world where we're eating so many fast foods and so many processed foods, our bodies, and also we're lazy with chewing because we're used to having processed foods, and so we don't chew the 30 times that we really need to. We don't have this mechanical digestion happening before we swallow food. Many people, especially in New York where I live, you know, are rushing through their lunch. They're not even having a chance. They're having indigestion. It's a great product if you're having like that kind of issue, and it replenishes the essential enzymes that you might be missing, and it also replenishes the good bacteria that are necessary for not only the absorption of nutrients but also just to soothe your tummy. So it adds beneficial bacteria to the gut, which can last long term, as well as improve you know, digestion, help to form the stools normally, help improve the intestinal environment of the digestive tract, support the body in maintaining healthy digestive functions, and promote healthy bowel movements, which we all need. And so I think I'm pretty much done with this product. I'm gonna maybe finish it up. The reason that it is yellow is because it does have a lime flavor, riboflavin in it, which is a yellow color. It also has an apple fiber, as well as apple cider and a lemon flavor and a lime flavor, all natural. And so it's a really great product. I love it. And if you want to know how to get it, just send me a DM or message me, and I'll be happy to provide you a coupon. Thanks, guys. It's been fun. It's my first video.